I'd like to give a shout out to the newest member of the Comment Club. If you want to join the Comment Club, make sure you leave a comment below. What is going on, guys? This is TheCrayonsMelt here, back with everybody's favorite series, said no one ever, the Team of the Week prediction video for week number 3. Obviously, you know, there's a game going on tonight. It's going to be the Dallas Cowgirls versus the Arizona Cardinals. So, you know, my list might be shaken up by somebody who does really well, like super well. So keep that in mind. Like, this is all just my predictions on what we've seen so far. And really, I think, you know, the first 2 weeks, it's a little bit challenging, but I think this week is the most difficult week, in my opinion, so far. Just because there's a lot of, you know, don't know what the overall is going to look like. I think that's the biggest stumbling block for me so far. I have assumed that this week they're going to bump the overall up to a 92. Now, if it's not a 92, it sort of throws everything off. And I've got a like stipulation on whether or not they're going to do a limited time. I know last year it wasn't a limited time for the whole time. I think they brought it in a couple weeks in. So it could maybe change it. Don't really know, honestly. So a lot of guesses going on here, but it should be pretty fun. So let's go right ahead and get into the offense. Now we'll start off with the offense because I got a better idea. Again, if you've watched previous episodes, I'm not going to be predicting every single one. That's just not realistic because there's a lot of guys like offensive linemen. Pretty much anybody on the Eagles offensive line could get an upgrade. And except for, well, I guess they could do Lane Johnson, but that's a high overall. I don't think it'll happen. But then, like, offensive linemen are so hard to predict. You know, they're so hard to go in there and break down unless you look at you know, I think whatever's that site that ranks them and gives them a grade. I'm not doing that, you know, so I'm not part of that. But, you know, if I was, I would definitely give you guys some information on that. I'd be able to research it a little bit more. But so I'm going to start off with Blake Bortles. Definitely deserves an upgrade. Had 4 touchdowns, had an awesome game. Should get it upgraded. Should get an elite. I think he has a 78 overall, so I'm thinking he might get around the 84. Maybe he could push an 86. I think that'd be a little bit too much, but an 84 overall would definitely be pretty solid. Then I've got a toss-up between Kirk Cousins and Sammy Watkins for an 88 overall. It really just depends on what they do with the 90 overall, the highest in the set. Kirk Cousins, definitely could see him getting an upgrade, unless if they don't get another person. I don't know. Sammy Watkins needs an upgrade, and so does Kirk Cousins. They both deserve it. So really, it's going to be a fighting match between those two. For the 90 overall, I had 3 guys. I had Jordan Howard, I had Todd Gurley, and I had Stephon Diggs. And I ended up saying Todd Gurley, 90 overall. It's another one of those toss-ups. So if I say Todd Gurley for the 90 overall, I'm thinking 88 overall Sammy Watkins. But honestly, I can see Kirk Cousins in there as well. So it's really a toss-up. And then for the master for offensive, it's really 2. I had 3 in there. I had AJ Green in, and then I figured out he lost. I don't know how I didn't know that, but I took him out after I figured out he lost. Still could get it. Would be a weird master if the loser's on the master's a loser. I just don't see that happening. T.Y. Hilton is who I'm thinking will get it. But I think, like, everybody's going to be a little pissed off if they don't see a Tom. Well, not everybody's going to be pissed. I would love to see no Tom Brady upgrades throughout the year. But, man, at 5 touchdowns, you've got to see him getting a master this week, possibly. 5 touchdowns. But the only thing is the overall. Will he get a 1-point boost in overall for a Team of the Week? I don't know. So that's why I went with T.Y. Hilton, but I could see a limited time, maybe bump him up to a 93 overall, or just keep it at a 92 and give him a limited time. I could see that as well, but I really don't know. That's one of those things I'm not too sure about, but I think offensive master will be T.Y. Hilton. Also, I forgot to mention I got an honorable mention for offense. Tight end Mercedes Lewis had 3 touchdowns, really tore it up against, who did he play, Ravens? Against the Ravens, so I really think he probably will get an upgrade. I'm not sure what his overall is, but there's a lot of guys who are lower overall, but you could see him getting a gold, possibly pushing an elite upgrade. Next, we'll move on over to defense, and I think this is a lot harder to predict than any other week so far, because it seemed like a lot of the guys that really stood out were guys who had a much lower overall, to be honest with you. So, you know, this has been one of the hardest weeks for me. So I'm going to start off with Wesley Woodyard. I think he's going to start to push into that elite range. I think he might be an 82 overall. Maybe you could, you know, say he's an 84, possibly. But I think he'll be up in there for the elite overalls this year, or for this week. Another goal I think is going to be pushing into the elite is Connor Barwin. Had a solid game, had a sack and like 5 tackles. Could see him pushing elite, maybe 80 overall, maybe 82, depending on what they do with the lower tier guys. Next up, we have 86 overall, and I think they're going to give it to Ryan Shazier. Had 2 forced fumbles, and how many tackles did he have? I don't remember how many tackles he had, but he had a solid game, so I could see him getting an upgrade. Next, we got 88 overall, and this is really, like, this one, once I got up from 88 overall, it got really freaking tough. So, right here, even though he lost, I put Glover Quinn in. He had a pick 6. What else? He had, you know, just a solid game overall, so I could see him getting it. But also, like, I don't like to put people who lost into the team of the weeks. So I was torn, but I threw him in there. Another guy I threw in there was Alek Ogletree. Had a solid game, had a sack, had like 9 tackles. So could see him getting in there as well. At 90 overall, I sort of have like a mixture between the 90 and the 92s. Like the performance on the defense was really good for some guys, at the higher level at least. So I started off with Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey, and I ended up taking Ramsey, but I felt like Slay had a really good game, so I bumped him up to possibly being the master. So Jalen Ramsey, I felt like was a perfect for a 90 overall. Would be a huge bump up. It would be a 5-point bump. So I could see him also getting that 88, but I really think he deserved it. Had a great game and got another interception. So I threw him in there at 90 overall. Then for the master, 92 overall. It really came down between 3 guys. And I honestly, like, it hurts me to choose which of the 3. Because I have Darius Slay in there. I ended up taking him out. I think I'm taking him out. But I think he still can get, like, it really depends on if they give Jalen Ramsey a 90 overall. I don't see him giving a cornerback the 2 highest overall. It would kill the quarterback market. But I have him in there as a possible. But I'm really leaning towards 2 guys. Clowney or Harrison Smith. And you're like, whoa, Clowney had a much better game. It would be the same sort of thing. The overall boost just wouldn't be there. So I think they would have to give it to jadeveon Clowney, but I could also see Harrison Smith getting it. So I'm going to go with jadeveon Clowney. Hopefully you guys like my list. I'm sure you guys are going to disagree with it, but go ahead and drop down in the comment section if you guys are like, man, this player really deserved an upgrade and you didn't put him in there. But again, I am really curious to see who you guys think deserves Team of the Week upgrade. And also, go ahead and predict who's going to have a really great game tonight and could get a Team of the Week upgrade. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Drop a like on the video if you guys did. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
We throw them high, we snag them quick. We ask you how them haters felt. Like and subscribe to the page. It's TheCrayonsMelt. Pause the game and check the squad. You need to brace yourself. Boy, you getting clowned on. We ain't talking Dave Chappelle and pics. We got them.